Hey Elijah, how you doing, man? You okay?
Yes, sir. Everything's good. Everything's good. Just been a
Nice,
busy day,
nice.
but that's about it. Can't complain.
Now, one of the first things I wanted to speak to you about, because you were one of those people that started the sport really early in your life. So
hmm
could you explain to me a little bit about how you sort of found jiu-jitsu when you were, still a kid, really?
Yeah, so I first got put into martial arts by my parents along with my brother. Um they first wanted to put him in there because he kind of was known for like having like a little bit of a smart mouth. So they just wanted to um work ahead, be ahead, and be able make sure that he knew how to defend himself. So he did like taekwondo before, and then we our parents found the road sign for the martial arts academy, and then we got put in a summer camp. So from the summer camp of 2008 until now, we've been at Team Irvin.
So your brother trains as well still.
Yep.
And
Yep.
then can I ask, with you both sort of like starting together, did you find that a bit of an advantage as you were growing up, like having sort of like a tailor-made training partner all the way through?
So he's actually a little bit older than me. So we weren't training partners like growing up. We're like really sporty, so we did like having fun at home. We did like a lot of other stuff, like stuff that you probably wouldn't think we'll be able to do, but we did it in our little basement. We played football, we played basketball or football, like American football. Uh, Even sometimes probably soccer. And then basketball. We played baseball in our basement, believe it or not. We may have broken some things, but we still played baseball in the basement. Uh, oh, we played a game called crab soccer where you're like crab walking and you kick the ball. That we did play soccer. So yeah, we played a lot. And then we boxed. We only had one pair of boxing gloves growing up, so he would always get the left hand and I would get the right hand because he knew that his jab was faster than my power hand. So he would just keep popping me.
And then do you still box today or dip your toes in every once in a while?
No, no. I was teetering around with doing some MMA and stuff like that last year, but then like right I think right after ADCC, but then I just was focused then I started just focusing on jiu-jitsu again because like I wanted to pursue my goals there, and then maybe after I'll do one MMA fight.
So it's something you've still got on your mind, but you're not going to fully dedicate yourself to an MMA career, are you?
No, yeah, not an MMA career, but I definitely am gonna do an MMA fight at some point. I've already said my put my word in, so I'm kind of obligated by that.
Nice, nice. And then when was it really that you sort of like decided to actually become a professional jiu-jitsu competitor? Because for a lot of people, it's not really like a gradual process. It is kind of like a one day it sort of hits them that that's what they're going to do. Was there a moment like that with yourself?
Yeah, so there was like a couple moments, a few moments that like I really gave a realization to myself that this is what I wanted to do. One of them was in high school, and then one of them was in COVID. So like right after high school. The first one in high or yeah, the first one in high school was I like I said I was we were really sporty, so I played like a lot of sports. I'm a fan of a lot of sports, so I played like football, basketball, baseball, ran track growing up. So I played basketball and baseball in middle school, um, and then I ran track in high school my freshman year. So freshman year, I ran track in the winter through from like what, December till May. Yeah, May. And then I didn't have a good performance at Pans in my first juvenile year. And then while I was running track, and then at Worlds, I got second in my division, and then I got first in the open class. But the feeling of getting second, I didn't like that feeling, and I knew that I didn't like have the effort put forward enough from me taking time off doing track as well, that I didn't have to put my 100% out there. So then from that point, I stopped doing track. I started focusing on jiu-jitsu training, more I say more because I still had the little thought in my head of like playing football or like doing some other stuff again. Because I'm like in high school, I'm still trying to like be a part of, you know, the school and stuff like that. But then the second moment was COVID, because like during COVID, nobody knew what was going on. Everyone was scared. They didn't know what the world was gonna be uh in the coming years. So what 2020, I like most people, we didn't train a lot. We didn't train because everything was like shut down. You couldn't even you were scared to even be near somebody that doesn't live in your house. So I was again teetering with like thoughts like, what if I apply to college and then walk on like a football team? Because I'm like a huge football fan. So I'm having those thoughts. And yeah, so then as I started to compete again in 2021, when competition started coming back, on the East Coast at least, uh I started I started to then find my love for it again, for jujitsu, and decided that this is the route that I want to go. And then obviously the business that me and my brother have, those are the two things that I really want to focus on.
Nice, nice. And I would say as well, from watching you over the last couple of years, that you've really sort of like come into your own now over the last like 2 years, I would say.
Hmm.
So, can I ask, was there anything that you've changed in that time period, or was it just sort of getting used to the highest level of competition of black belt?
Yeah. Once you get the black belt, it's like a whole different league in general. Uh, like like a lot of people say, like getting your black belt is like starting over. Like you're pretty much starting from scratch again if you're competing, because like you're a rookie essentially. Like you can be in college, you can be the star in college, boom boom boom, senior year go crazy, and then once you get to the NBA, once you get to the NFL, once you get to the pros, you're a rookie, and it's like whoa, that shock. So yeah, I'm got a couple years at black belt, and I've definitely come to adjusting. Definitely my schedule, my training schedule is a lot different than before. Before I was training maybe or once, maybe twice a day. Now it's 2 to 3 times a day. So yeah, the training schedule is a lot different. It's more of a professional approach. Still working on it, but it's I'm just trying to find out what's good for me still. I still think I'm young, so I'm still figuring things out.
Well, you mentioned obviously having the business with your brother as well. So, how are you managing to like juggle that with training so much each day as well?
Yeah, so we do, since we do power washing and we live on the East Coast, in like near DC. So the weather in the in the summer, spring, summer, early fall, it's is good weather. Winter, late fall, no. So during that time, we're not doing the power washing. We're pretty much like training 24/7. So um then during the warm weather, right now we're still getting our schedule right, but because the season just started, it's just now starting to be a nice day where I can actually chill out outside. And so we train in the morning, and then after training morning, whether we leave at 10:30 or 11, we start at 9, 10 to 10:30 or 11, and then we go do our jobs that we have scheduled, and then later in the evening, we train at night.
Sure, sure. So it's quite a busy day, really. I mean, you're sort of like up at the crack of dawn and then getting to sleep quite late as well, I imagine.
Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty crazy. My body is sometimes some days I'm like a zombie. I'm just making it. But I mean, that's what I signed up for. So
Yeah. And then it must be difficult for you as well because you're one of the not there's still quite a few people that do it these days, but I find that nowadays you're getting more specialists that sort of like focus on gi or no gi, whereas you're one of those people that does both.
Right.
How do you sort of like manage that as well? Like, do you train in both regularly, or do you sort of pick one up depending on what's coming up soon?
Both, both really. I usually train like default, like if it's default, like say that all tournaments for the year are canceled. It's probably we're most likely going to try to train in the gi. And then so default is gi, and then when no gi events are coming up or no gi season, because it's always gi season, but no gi season, um, we'll start to focus on no gi. So like last year, for me last year, right after Worlds, uh, gi Worlds, I went to no gi because ADCC was coming up in August, and then after that, then it was both a little bit of no gi or gi and no gi, and then for no gi Worlds, no gi pans, no gi. So
Sure, sure. And then obviously for you, last year ADCC was kind of like your breakout performance as well, I think. But going back a little bit further than that, obviously you won ADCC trials in a pretty very tough bracket. To be honest with you, you had to beat at least two ADCC veterans, I think.
mhm.
How did you find that on the day? Like actually winning ADCC trials, was it as tough as it looked from the outside?
Yeah, yeah, I would say it was definitely tough because I mean, of course the opponents, but then again, um just my first it was my first trials. Nobody, I mean, not that it really affected me, but nobody expected for me to be able to win. Um, I wasn't looked at as a favorite, but not that I was worried about that. But um, what else? Can you repeat the question again? I think I cheated away from it in my head.
That's okay. Yeah, I was just asking, was there anything that sort of like made it more difficult for you when you won ADCC trials, or what was the sort of toughest part of that, do you think?
Okay, so my main two uh oh, instructors, they weren't there. They and stuff like that. But I did have some of my teammates. They drove up with me. My brother and then Angelo and Quentin, they drove up with me. Uh, so they were there on the second day. Macedoni, he was there on the first day, but then he had to go back home on the second day. So uh, Master Lloyd, Sadiq Yusuf had a UFC fight, so he was there with him on that Saturday, so he couldn't make it. Um, but I mean, just that. I mean, they're of course there, like mentally for me, because I mean they're on my phone. I'm texting them, calling them. Uh, but I feel like it was pretty like I think the that trip made me more relaxed. Like um just the company that I had with me, they definitely kept me not even thinking about the matches where I'm creating anxiety for myself. They more so like brought a laxed, fun time type of vibe. So um yeah. Angelo, he competed as well. So um he was there with me. We were both competing and yeah, so
Nice. And then it clearly worked, obviously, because you won trials and then booked your place at ADCC. And last year, obviously, at ADCC, you had a fantastic performance. You know, you finished fourth, went 2-2, which is solid for someone in their first appearance at the event, you know?
mhm.
And was there anything when you look back on that ADCC 2024 that you think you could maybe improve upon or work on now in the coming months or ready for next year?
Yeah, I mean, I got a little taste of what it is to fight on that stage. So I think the experience in itself is a good lesson for me for next time, as well as me seeing where I am compared to some of the best guys as well. Fighting um all the guys I fought, Dante, JT, Wagner, PJ Barge, those are like some of the best guys in the world. Um, winning a lot of titles. medaling high at ADCC. So me seeing where I am compared to them and knowing that I can build even more upon that, finding the weaknesses that I felt I could work on for next time, which I have been working on.
Nice. And you've got an opportunity to test it coming up now as well, because you've got BJJ Stars 15,
Mhm.
middleweight Grand Prix under ADCC rules as well. So when you look at that bracket, because it is stacked as well, there's some really, really talented people in there.
Yeah.
Is there anyone in particular that stands out that you're looking forward to facing, or that you might want to get on the opening round?
Well, I think it's already kind of cemented that who I'm going against in the first round because of some of the comments that were made on the lives that BJJ Stars had, which is kind of funny. But yeah, I think first round I'm probably gonna have Rafael Paganini because um something I said after a question that was asked and it got kind of like twisted in a way. I was not twisted, but like taken in a way where I was like kind of talking trash. But I mean, I wasn't talking trash. I was actually trying to dodge the question by just giving an answer that is innocent, but it is what it is. It's good for the sport, I guess, or good for the viewership. Um, bringing excitement to the viewership, making it seem like, or yeah, the trash talking aspect. One person says something, the other one said claps back. So, I mean, that's cool. I'm all for it.
Nice. And then if you're facing Paganini in the first round, then assuming you do obviously beat him and get further, is there anyone that you think is like your toughest opposition in the bracket or anything like that?
I mean, Mika, he's the winner of the ADCC division that I was in, so that's definitely a match that I would want. Um, Other tough guys, I mean, they're all super tough, like you said. Most of them are like they usually compete in the weight class above for ADCC, so I don't I wouldn't get the chance to fight them there, other than Janatis and Taza. I fought Taza before, never fought Janatis Gracie. Um, but I would really not mind fighting anyone in the bracket because I know they're all tough in their own aspect. Uh, like if one's tough wrestling, the other one's tough in the guard with their leg locks. So other one's good passing. Like so, they all have their, and all of them are well rounded. Don't get me wrong. They're all well rounded, but they definitely have their specialties and stuff like that.
Nice. And obviously you've got, I assume you're doing worlds again this year, are you?
Yep. Yes, sir.
Yeah, so you've got a bit of a switch coming up. Obviously, we've got to focus heavily on nogi and then back to gi.
Right.
Do you actually have a preference yourself? Like, is there one that you prefer competing in or training in?
I feel like if all money was put to the side and don't have to worry about that, I would definitely and I only could choose one, I would choose gi. I would definitely choose gi.
Nice. And then obviously, I think you kind of hit the nail on the head when you mentioned money, the money aspect of it. Then that is one of the big sort of like factors for most people, is that there is really more money in no gi competition, isn't there?
Right. Yeah, yeah, for sure. Like if you ask someone that didn't just start doing jujitsu no-gi, then they'll say the reason that they do no-gi is because there's more money in it. So, uh, which can be changed based off of us athletes performing in exciting ways and bringing that attention, bringing the excitement to the gi.
So that's an interesting point as well, because a lot of people do have that kind of the gi is dead mentality, but you think that it could be exactly as popular as no gi as
Mhm.
long as the athletes deliver the same level of entertainment. Do you?
Oh, for sure. Yeah, yeah. And I think the IBJJF is doing a really good job with that as well because they 2 years ago introduced the crown and like the crown event being there, it was a really cool experience. It gave that same the same excitement like as a who's number one with like the stage, the lights, all that type of stuff. and then they have it at the pyramid, so it's like a big arena. Um, but yeah, I think the IBJJF is doing a really good job. They're trying to find their ways to add the excitement to it as well.
Yeah, and it is definitely possible because there's such a big market for people that do train the sport and don't necessarily watch it as much, that there's got to be a way to sort of tap into that from like a promotions point of view. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Right. Yeah, and for the people that aren't used to it, it's the gi is also confusing to them as well. They're like, "What are these jackets?" And like no gi is more okay. They're grabbing them, so it's like wrestling. So
Yeah, it's definitely a lot easier to understand from a sort of like more casual viewer's perspective, sort of thing.
mm-hmm.
And then when you look forward to the rest of the year now, obviously, if you're focusing on BJJ Stars and then Worlds, have you got anything else in the works now for the rest of the year or anything else you're planning on competing in?
UFC Fight Pass would definitely be a goal of mine. Who's number one? ADXC, all of those are tournaments that I definitely want to compete in. Going to the UK at Polaris, that would be awesome as well. One FC, I mean, I know they're giving out contracts, so I mean, but yeah, those are all the bigger organizations right now that are promoting the jiu-jitsu super fights and brackets and stuff like that. So those are all of the big name things. Whereas good viewership and the competition level is very high.
Nice. And is there any particular matches that you would want? Any rematches or new opponents that you'd want to face as well?
I would definitely want a rematch with PJ Barch, because that was the end of my stint at ADCC, or it was the end of my it was it was the end of it because that was the last match. Uh, what else? Who else? That's like the main one. Who else have a Oh, and Tynan. I want to fight Tynan again as well.
Nice. So that's one no-gi match and one gi match, then I'm guessing.
Yeah, gi or no gi with Tynan, and then or both, and then PJ Barch.
Nice. That's pretty much everything I wanted to run through with you now. I mean, is there anything else that you want to say or anyone that you want to give a shout out to, like sponsors or anything like that?
Um, yeah, I mean, I don't have a sponsor right now, a gi sponsor at that. But definitely John Smith Meals. They have provided meals for me for a while, so I just want to give a shout out to them. Definitely want to give a shout out to everyone at Team Lloyd Irvin because I've been there forever and couldn't be here without them. Master Lloyd, Master Donnie, everyone under them, my parents, family, of course. And yeah, let me think. I Yeah, that's pretty much it for me.
Nice. Well, thanks very much for your time today, Elijah, and I wish you the best of luck at BJJ Stars as well.
Thank you. Have a good one, Alex.
Cheers. Take it easy.